Okay, so today we're going to go through some of my weapon classes. This is my standard 5 attachment Craig. Millstop reflex, increased zoom, doesn't block your screen as much. Ranger barrel, you want that bullet velocity to really make sure your bullets connect. Field agent grip gives you that vertical recoil control, especially since we don't have a muzzle on this class. Airborne Raider, pretty standard amongst every AR. Onto the pistol, we have the muzzle brake, so none of that horizontal reduction, especially because it's a burst weapon. Extended barrel, again, doesn't have any negatives, gives you a little extra bullet velocity. 24 round speed tape. I know a lot of pros use the airborne. I'm almost never going prone with my pistol. I'm really pulling it out whenever I'm out of ammo and chasing someone down. I also don't like the sprint to fire time, because I may have the pistol out just so I can run a little faster if I have my, for example, the field agent AR. Flashbangs over stuns. A full flash player is pretty much useless. He can't see anything. You know you got him cornered. If he's stunned, he can still see. He can make callouts. Plus, if they have tac mask on, stuns do absolutely nothing, where flashes can at least momentarily affect their screen, even if it's very slightly. Simtex over frags. You don't have to cook a Simtex, even though it takes a little bit longer in this game than previous Call of Duties. I still think it's the way to go. Also, I get plenty of sticks by throwing them where I usually predict people are going to be, just a lucky stick, and that's an instant flak jacket kill. Again, flak tac ninja, pretty standard. Onto my Gunfighter Craig. Almost the same, millstop, but we're going to throw on the infantry compensator. The Craig has virtually no horizontal recoil, especially with the field agent, so we're just really eliminating that vertical recoil. Ranger again, field agent grip. I was using the speed grip for a while because they've added shooting move speed in this game, and I absolutely hate it. That's just personal preference. However, I did some wall testing at longer ranges, and the field agent grip made it, a straight laser beam, whereas the speed grip, it'll go up and to the right a little bit. But you do get to run from place to place a little quicker as well, so you just kind of use that at your own discretion. 40 round, you can use a jungle style, but you really want the bullets in your mag when you need them. Then we have the Airborne Raider again. I use Assassin. You can use Scavenger and Respawn depending on what game mode you're playing or what rule set you're following, Gearhead and Quartermaster. Assassin, especially in league play, just because, I don't know if you know, but if you kill somebody, you get 50 extra points. If they're on a 2 streak, you get 100 points. 3 streak, 150 extra points, and so on. So it's just a way to really get your score up and get those streaks, which, I wish they were kill streaks, but they just end up being very important in league play. So I have 2 different M4 classes. We have the Microflex LED. I prefer the millstop on every gun, but there's just something about the Microflex that just feels right with the M4. The infantry compensator. It doesn't have the best horizontal recoil control, but it has a pretty gnarly vertical recoil. Ranger, for the same reason, you want that bullet connection. Plus, I know a lot of people in the competitive scene are actually staying away from the effective damage range. Again, it just kind of depends what rule set you're playing with. We have the field agent grip. Same reason as the Craig, you don't get that extra vertical recoil, but you also get that horizontal to off-put the 8% from the muzzle. 40 rounds, same reason as before, Airborne Raider, nothing really special there. So this one's a little different. The only thing different is the speed grip. I prefer the speed grip, especially on maps like Raid, because of that sprint to fire speed, moving from location to location. Just makes you a little bit more competitive, I feel, with AK-74Us, especially on those close quarter maps. 2 different AK-74U classes. They're exactly the same, except one has tac mask, one has engineer. Just kind of depends on what your role is at the time or what you're trying to accomplish. Engineer is essentially just to take out the enemy trophies, which, if you play league play or game battle variant, Gearhead's not banned, so there are trophies everywhere in Respawn. You can also use it for an edge and search, but only in CDL, just to kind of get a little bit of extra information on where their trophies are, where they could be. Task Force is banned pretty much universally at this point. So I was running, task force with the muzzle brake for the longest time. It was actually just today. I was just thinking, without the task force, this gun has virtually no recoil. What is 4% really doing for me? So I removed the muzzle brake and put on the 40 round drum. You don't have to do that. I haven't really seen any pros doing it, but it's just something that kind of is working for me at least tonight. So I'm just going to play with that. Also been pretty effective in respawn. So again, it's a standard class, extended, for multiple reasons. Just like the task force, you don't have any of these negatives as far as aim walking speed or sprinting move speed. I see a fair amount of people use rifled. I don't really want the sprinting move speed reduction plus effective damage range. It helps, especially in close quarter combat, but this gun can basically be an AR, so why not get that little extra bit of bullet velocity? Speed grip universally. If you're using the Spetsnaz grip, I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with you. And I know some people use the bruiser grip. I don't really see why you would, because the biggest detriment to this gun is its horizontal recoil plus just 10% sprinting speed is so much, especially on a sub. So I wouldn't even question that. And then grew elastic skeletal stock. You can use snow stock, but just the extra bit of movement you get with the skeletal is really worth the hip fire. Plus, you shouldn't really be hip firing all too much, especially with the 7.4U. It doesn't have the fire rate of like an MP5, especially not a Mac 10. So just hit your shots. Lastly, we have my sniper class. We're using a stabilizer. I know a good amount of people are using the hammer forge, but I just go with the combat recon because, if you remove this, you have let's see here. We gotta go over here. A 550 millisecond bullet velocity, which is barely better than the base AK-74U. Just to put it in perspective, a Craig with Ranger has about 1200 bullet velocity. So the combat recon, at least make sure your bullets are getting there. The only negative is the idle sway control, but you're off-putting that with the stabilizer. And, snipers in this game are a little weird where it doesn't really seem to affect the gun all too much. Depending on the map and preference, you can use the speed grip. Bigger maps like Moscow, it can be really effective, really brings up that sprinting move speed. You're faster than with your pistol, because that just makes sense in Cold War. However, I really have been liking the infiltrator grip. You get that 5% movement. That's just, how you're moving when you're not sprinting, when you're not shooting, aim down sight. You also get a little bit of extra shooting move speed and aim walking move speed, so that really helps your strafing. The bruiser's not bad. It actually doesn't say here, but it makes your melee super quick too. But just 3% versus 5%, I just went with the 5%. Airborne elastic wrap, you are going to want to lay down from time to time, and it is the best ADS. And then Raider pad is personal preference. Some people use this for the hip fire. I don't know about you. I'm either quick scoping and probably most likely hard scoping. So I don't really need the hip fire accuracy. And that's it for my class setups that I would use competitively. I know snipers are banned at the moment. Hopefully they can figure out smokes. They're such a headache. I know they fixed the aim assist part, but just all in all, there needs to be some retooling there. Let me know if you have any questions. Drop a comment, leave a like, sub to the channel. This is my new channel. And yeah, have a great day.